Welcome to Sweethearts or Rivals. I'm Charlotte.
I'm Justin.
Today we're going to be doing our revised review of Gold West.
Gold West.
This game plays 2 to 4 players.
Mm-hmm.
You can play, it recommends either 12 or 13 years and up.
Depending on which side of this box you look at.
Right. And it can take you about 45 to 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
The copy we have is published by Tasty Minstrel Games.
Yep.
And why is it kind of a revised kind of review?
We did a overview playthrough video, and we did a review of Gold West, and we put it up the other day, and we had some very, very, very nice, polite, helpful viewers just let us know that we had made a mistake with one of the rules. And unlike previous videos where we made like a little misinterpretation or read a rule wrong or it was vague or something understandable like that, this was a rule that in the rule book was very clear. It wasn't hidden, it wasn't vague. I just for some reason skipped over that like one paragraph for some unknown reason.
Yeah.
Very, very strange. So that on top of the fact that when I read the rule, realized that it would change the game a lot, I decided that it would be good just to pull the videos so that we could play the game properly and then re-review it. Okay. So, and thanks to you out there who let us know that, because nobody like sent us anything snarky or anything like that.
We never get snarky comments anyway.
It was very nice and very helpful.
Yes, thank you.
Now we have the correct way to play.
Right. And how did that change our opinions? We'll find out in this review.
Absolutely.
So, starting with the components.
Components. What do you think?
I like the components. I like all the wood pieces.
Mm-hmm.
They're made very well.
Yep.
And I also like that they have purple for a player color.
Yep.
Because if you can't have pink, it's nice to have purple.
Very important.
Right. It is. For me.
Yeah.
Color's important to me. Anyway.
It's also nice that instead of just little discs or anything, we actually have like little stage coaches that are screen printed, little minor meeples. Mm-hmm. That's a very cool touch.
It is really cool, and they're screen printed on both sides.
Yeah.
Like not even just one side. So that's
very nice.
Very cool.
Yep.
And the cardboard that they use to make the board with and these little circles is extremely thick cardboard.
Yes.
Which is awesome because puzzle boards sometimes are a little bit fiddly or finicky.
Flimsy.
Flimsy.
They
Yeah,
pop
that's another
out.
word.
Yeah.
And the cardboard here, it all sticks together nicely.
Yep. And
it holds its shape.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So you're not moving your pieces around and all of a sudden your board fell apart.
Yeah.
So it's really
like
nice.
Catan, there's Darkest Night.
Yeah.
The puzzle boards on those, they just kind of, they can pop out and they don't stay very well. Mm-hmm. This is the best puzzle board for a board game that I've ever encountered.
Mm-hmm. That we own anyway.
Yeah.
And then the cards, they're not linen or anything, but they're kind of thick. They're stiff cardboard, which is nice. Mm-hmm. So if they're not going to be a super high quality, it's nice that they're thick and that they're stiff cardboard because it makes it a whole lot easier to shuffle them.
Yeah.
And they're not going to show as much wear and tear.
Yeah.
Which is also nice.
Cool.
And also the bits are nice too because the cubes for the wood and the stone are nice big cubes.
Nice
and they
chunky.
seem to be like a little bit larger than standard, which is nice.
Yep.
And then the metal ones with the copper, the silver, and the gold, it's really cool because the sides on them, like the copper, are 5-sided. And then the silver are 6-sided.
Yep.
And the gold is 7 or 8?
8.
So that makes it nice to differentiate between either, you can see it as copper's cheaper, so it has less sides.
Yep.
Or for colorblind too, they might stand out a little bit because in tone they might be similar in color. I'm not sure. I'm not colorblind,
but it's a nice differentiation between the 3 shapes.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, all the metals are cylinders and all of the building supplies are cubes. So again, it's a tactile way of just differentiating the different. It's very nice. Nice big chunky pieces too.
Now, the only thing I have to say about components is the artwork. For me, I'm not a super fan of this style.
And I think it's awesome.
Yeah. And the only reason for me is I'm all about the cuteness, and this is very authentic to the theme.
Yep.
So the artwork goes excellently with the theme of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's authentic. It's not cute, and that's the only reason I say I'm not a fan.
I like it. It looks very nice. It looks very like hand drawn.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the stuff is in cursive, which I think is hilarious because there will be a lot of today's kids who won't be able to read it.
Made in Canada anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I just think is funny, but it looks nice. It looks cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the only reason I comment about the art is I'm a type of person that I do kind of judge a book by its cover. So when I saw the game initially, I was definitely not drawn to it. I wasn't even drawn to finding more information out about it.
Ouch.
Which is unfortunate because once I saw so many, like the chatter about it was so positive, I thought, well, I might as well watch a review and see what it's all about.
There you go. Good thing you did.
It's a good thing I did, for
Now
sure.
we have it.
Right. But I
Right
just
on.
thought I'd mention that.
Cool.
So what would you say about the strategery, which is the strategy, tactics, and luck?
Is a very interesting mix in Gold West. First of all, there is a ton of randomness, but only in the setup, which is very cool. So first of all, you have the puzzle board that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tiles. How those tiles get placed into the board and their orientation is going to determine which terrain tiles are going to go out on the board. But then on top of that, literally, these terrain tiles go out randomly upside down, so you don't even see which tiles have what resources. And you discover that in the game. That is very neat.
It is. And in a 2-player game, which is what we play this mostly,
Yep.
these 2 are turned over.
Just to tighten up the board.
Right. But it's kind of neat because it's going to take out that many resource tiles in the game. So when you play in 2-player, you're not even going to get to choose from all of the resource tiles that are even available.
Yep.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. So during the game, the only real randomness that comes out is as you discover more of the terrain tiles, as you kind of explore and flip them up, a spot that starts off seeming like it's going to be really good might suddenly have a lot of tiles pop up that are only 2 resources instead of the nice good 3 ones. So there's that. Again, in the setup, the randomness of the Boomtown end goals, there's only ever going to be 8 investments, so that's going to be random each time. So there's a lot of randomness in the setup, very little randomness in the game itself. There's lots of short-term goals and a lot of long-term goals. So it's a really excellent blend of the 2 together. And the fact that as you are managing your resource or your supply track, you have to use everything that comes out of your supply track every round. So in order to get any kind of goal at all, there's a lot of tactical planning. And sometimes long-term strategic planning, just on where to put them in here so that they can last. Because, hey, I've got 5 gold on my track. I'm going to be able to get that 5 gold investment. Oh, no, one of my gold just came out of the supply track. I have to spend it right now. Plan blown.
Right.
So, lots and lots of planning. If you have some people who are a little AP prone, that might be a bit of a challenge for them in the game.
It could be, yeah.
Another thing with the strategery of Gold West is that there is a really nice balance of long-term goals, short-term goals, different strategies. There's a number of different areas that you can kind of focus on, which is really, really great. Investing in the boom towns so that you can kind of plan out a strategy for end game scoring. Or focusing on investments instead and just spending all your medals so that you can get quick points during the game. It's interesting with the shipping track because you can't, the way we were playing it before, you could kind of save up and just dump them all at the end of the game.
Right, and when we were playing before, I was like, well, the shipping track is only really useful at the end.
Yeah. And now it's not, because anytime you have a piece of metal and just one, you can't use it for anything. So the shipping track actually starts happening more often, which is actually good because it's supposed to. It's a bit of a race. Whoever gets over those hurdles first gets bonus points, big bonus points.
Yeah.
So it should be kind of a race track that happens a lot more often.
Right.
And so it does.
And I find it interesting too because you almost want to have your leftover metal be the same more often than not. You kind of don't want to spread them out if you can help it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's really hard because if you're trying to balance buying these and this and that, you just never know what metals you're going to have left over.
Yeah.
It's a little trickier.
And if you focus on a single kind of metal, it means you're going to have one of these tracks be full and the rest are going to be really
Quite
low
empty.
and you're going to miss out on all of these points.
Yeah.
So there's a nice balance where if you focus on one area, it means you're going to lose out in another area. So you have to balance it.
You do.
Which is awesome.
You do.
And yeah.
It's a little bit trickier though, having to use all of your resources up in your turn though.
Yes.
To balance everything just the way you were envisioning it to happen.
Yeah. So complexity of Gold West.
Complexity. I think for the most part the game is fairly straightforward because you're going to take all your bits from one, move them up the track, and whatever you have left over at the top, that's what you spend. So the basic concept of the game is not that complex.
Yeah.
It's the complexity of where to put what when to get what you need here to do this or this or this.
Yeah.
That's where the complexity is a little bit higher.
Yep.
Because the rule that we played wrong was we weren't discarding all the stuff that we had each time.
Yeah, so if you had resources left over after you spent it and your turn's over, we just kept it.
Right. And that definitely makes the game less complex.
Yes.
Because you didn't have to focus so much on the timing of when everything came out to be available. You could say, okay, I've got my building supplies available here. I don't have to worry about them. So I found that the switch over to you've got to use what you have here totally. And that's
or lose it.
all you have to work with each round.
Yeah.
That added a lot of complexity to the game.
Yeah. It shifted what we thought was kind of a gateway light medium type Euro game. Definitely shifted more into the medium, maybe even a little bit heavy medium.
On the high side of medium. Yeah.
And it's not that there's a lot to the game, it's just there's a lot to just managing your track and how that reacts and interacts with all of these different goals.
Right.
And the fact that there's so many long-term and short-term goals and you have to constantly balance between them.
Yeah. It did bring the complexity of the game up higher. And I wanted to save kind of the explanation of what we did wrong more towards the end of the video, but in the complexity, I felt like I couldn't explain it without bringing it up.
Yep. Do you find it like it's over complex?
It's not over complex, I don't think. I think it's just there's more of a learning curve to it now, for sure.
Yeah.
Because it focuses the game more on this track here. Not so much about...
Yeah.
Like, I was always feeling clever about where I was putting my buildings and how I would save up my metals to be able to get exactly what I want. But having to do it all in one turn.
It makes the focus of your game this right here a whole lot more
important.
Yeah.
Right.
And even like grabbing some stuff and what order you leave them behind, even that it takes some skill to manipulate properly.
Right. So I think the only complicated part really is that managing to put what, where, when.
Yep.
And to plan ahead so that you actually get what you want when you need it.
Yeah. Which I think is actually a really good strength of the game because it's not complex to learn how to play.
No.
It's just as you learn how to play it well.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's good because if it was just easy, then you would play it and eventually be like,
get tired of it.
I'm not getting better at it because it was just easy. This, you're definitely going to be like, okay, after my 5th play, I'm managing this so much better. I'm doing so much better and getting so many more points. This is awesome.
But you can still make that one wrong move and realize, I've just messed up everything for the next 3 turns. What am I
Yeah.
gonna do?
It's good.
Yeah. So how did you find the rule book?
The rule book is excellent. Very well laid out. Absolutely no reason anyone should miss any important rules when they're reading it.
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself.
No, the rule book is actually quite good. Very good, well laid out. Lots of good examples. It's organized well. Again, I have no idea how I missed that rule. It's very weird.
And as far as the setup and being able to teach, I think that's very straightforward, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy to learn, difficult to master.
Right.
Yeah. Right on.
So, what do you think about the playability?
The mechanics versus the theme is very interesting. I have no idea of how I view the supply track works, but for me, it just makes thematic sense. I put them here, I get 3 points because those resources are going to be much more refined than these ones. But these ones get you no points, but you're going to be able to use them faster. So thematically, it makes sense. I have no idea if that's how they intended it. I didn't read that as far as I know, but that's how I look at it.
Yep.
The placing your tents and your outposts out into the area and taking over area control and getting influence, all of it makes sense. And the fact that when you got medals left over that you can't do anything good with, you ship them back home, which again makes sense,
Right.
and you get points for that. So it all works really well. So that's the theme of the mechanisms. It scales with the number of players rather well because a 2-player game, these 2 tiles are face down, so it tightens up the board. Once you get 3 and 4, it opens up a little bit better. There's more bonuses out. So yeah, it scales really, really well. The biggest thing with it is that your turns are very quick, other than AP. Because sometimes you can get stuck in that AP.
You can, yeah.
But other than the AP, the turns are very, very quick, which is excellent. So the game, especially when you're used to the game and have played it a lot of times, the game goes really quickly, which is excellent.
And I think sometimes the analysis paralysis, the AP, can come into play when you're trying to decide and you have these agonizing choices.
Yeah.
That it's like, what's going to be best for me this time? And I find it's like trying to choose your resources and trying to pick where they're going to go.
Yeah, those are the 2 really big...
trickiest decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What resources do I need and how do I put them in here so that they come out when I need them? Because the timing is such a huge thing.
And where am I going to even put my tents? And which colors am I going to put here? Like, it's those awesomely agonizing decisions.
Awesomely agonizing decisions.
Yeah.
AAD.
Right.
And you do actually have to keep an eye on what other people are doing. Because Charlotte could have looked over and seen that I was really loading up on my gold
I did look over
track,
there and see that he was really loading up on that.
and could have taken one of those away from me and cut my bonus points in half.
You took those really soon on.
There was like 3 rounds where I had one and I couldn't get the other one without looting and losing a lot of points. And you weren't going for it, so I just kept holding off around. I looked over your track and said, okay, she does not have gold or silver. I'm good.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do have to, it's a lot of indirect
timing.
And there's a lot of indirect interaction where you have to keep an eye on what the other players are doing. Yeah, which is excellent.
It's cool.
Cool. So, does it have the awesomeness or the cuteness?
Obviously, like I said, I'm all about the cuteness, and the art's not that cute, so it's more awesome than cute.
Awesome!
Very
very,
awesome.
very awesome. Yep. Quick setup, lots of random setups, replayability.
And like you
super
said,
quick.
Easy to learn but hard to master.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah, yeah, excellent.
So if you have a group looking to buy Gold West, what kind of group would you recommend it to?
It's going to have to be a small group because it only plays up to 4. It doesn't expand beyond that. If you have a group that are into kind of medium Euro style games, I think they're going to enjoy this, especially with such a high level of randomized setup for replayability, which is awesome. And it's going to be a game that you're going to want to replay often because, one, it's short, which is also awesome, but it's also, again, as we've said, easy to learn and difficult to master. So by being able to play it over and over again and enjoy it every single time, your skill is going to increase. Now, if you and your group have played this a lot, and then you invite someone new to come in and join you, I can imagine them being slaughtered.
You think?
Yeah, Because if you know how to manage this better and then somebody comes in, you're going to need to help them for their first game.
Yes.
Because again, easy to learn, difficult to master.
Right, it's true. So what do you think? Is this a trader or a keeper?
This is definitely a keeper.
For sure.
Yeah. Every time we have played it, I have enjoyed it with and without the correct rules.
Yes.
But finding out the way that we were playing it wrong and then starting to play it the correct way, even though it did boost that complexity level, I still really enjoyed it. Especially after the first couple of games, as the skill in managing this got better.
Right.
And I could feel like my skill was getting better and I was pulling off better moves.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. And again, just quick. For this amount of depth of a game, it's so quick.
It is.
Which is awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah. And it doesn't feel like it's too quick.
No, not at all.
Certainly not a filler or anything silly like that. Yeah.
No. It is a little bit more brain burnery, though.
Yeah.
Playing the correct way.
Yep. So, Gold West. Did we finish as sweethearts or rivals? We finished as
rivals.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm constantly looking over there, looking at my stuff, looking at your stuff, looking at where you are, looking at my stuff, looking at my strategies, seeing if you're looking at my strategies, looking at your strategies, trying to block your strategies while continuing my strategies. Oh, yeah. Rivalry.
And me, I'm looking at my strategies, and it's Justin's going. I'm thinking of my turn, and I'm like thinking about my game, and then all of a sudden I hear 3 points, sweetie. I get 3 points. I'm like, would you shush about your points now? I am like trying to figure this out.
It's kind of funny because the fact that your turns are so quick doesn't give people a lot of time to like strategize.
No.
It's almost like you should have one of those speed chess clocks. Like, bam, go!
Yeah. I know what you mean.
That would be hilarious. You're like, I haven't had time to look yet.
Because I know you're like, bam, 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 boom, boom, 10 here. Okay, here you go.
Awesome.
Rivals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to discuss about Gold West?
Yes. Normally this is where we would wrap up, but we thought we might mention how we were playing it wrong before.
Well, we did mention a few things in the video, so they probably got the idea.
Yeah. So the way we were playing is you got to save resources. You didn't have to use them all up each round, which did make the game much more easy.
Oh, way easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was almost like this sliding scale. It started off super easy and not complex, and then as you got near the end and your amount of resources built, and you can only do so much per turn, and near the end of the game it would start to increase in complexity as you're trying to figure out where to spend all these medals for the most points.
Right.
Before anyone else does. So it worked. It's worked rather well, but I could see us eventually kind of getting like bored with it.
More bored with it earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was like, yes, the end game was a little bit tricky, but the beginning of the game was just bang, 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 and just going. Yeah. So we almost view it as a bit of a kind of like a house rule or a variant.
It could be, yeah.
An unofficial variant.
Like if you're playing with someone maybe that has a lot of AP.
Yeah.
Or someone new, or someone that really hasn't played a lot of games before, and they need a gateway.
Yeah. So we were almost going to call it like the Sweethearts or Rivals Gateway
I
variant.
don't know. We don't have to put our name on it that we were the ones that made the error.
Well, we did.
Yeah, we did, but I don't think we need, to record it for all of history and time.
Sure we can. Anyway, a beginner's variant.
Right.
If you want to teach this game and you and your group are really good at it and someone is new, it could be a beginner's variant. Because the gameplay, like what you have to do in the game, is still the exact same.
Yeah.
You just don't have to manage the timing of everything so critically.
Right. Although, I would mention to them that this is a starting variant.
Yeah.
And that this is really, the other way is this way.
Yeah.
So that when they're playing, they can have that in the back of their mind.
And start learning it.
Right.
Yeah.
And think, well, I can do it this way for now, but if I had to, not save my resources, how would I manage it differently?
Yeah.
Right.
Because I find that playing the game the correct way after playing it the incorrect way. I knew exactly how to play the game. I just had to learn the timing aspect.
Right.
And the timing aspect
is pretty much
huge.
The whole game.
Yeah.
Like, it really focuses this.
Yep.
For sure. Not so much here.
Yeah.
Like, you could... I don't know how we ended up getting all our tents together on this particular board. But in the previous times we played last night, we played it a lot of times in a row.
Yep.
Just to, you know, be comfortable with the new mechanism. Well, not new the correct mechanism.
Yep.
And we were, like, all over the place.
Sometimes.
It was just funny.
Yeah.
How it worked out.
Yep. So, there we go. I think if somebody came over and wanted to play this, or we brought it to a game night, and they'd never played it before.
Right. It depends on which group we're going to bring it to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think I'd play it as, like, kind of our variant, a beginner's variant. And then the actual, like, full game could be the expert.
It could be.
Expert game.
We'll play it correctly from now on, though.
Oh, absolutely, yes, because we're definitely experts.
What?
The number of times that we have played this game.
Oh, Justin.
Yeah, we're not beginners. Is that better? Does that sound better?
We're not beginners.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not an expert.
I don't know. I keep winning, so I must be good. Waiting for her to smack me, but it's not happening.
No.
Okay. Not on camera. That's good.
I'm not Sam Healy.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that is our review of Gold West.
Right.
The proper one.
Exactly.
Right. Thanks for watching.
And we'll see you in the next video.
And again, for those of you that very kindly pointed out our mistake, thank you very much. It was awesome. See you later.
So when you're talking about the theme and everything you just said there, it made me think of the old-fashioned West.
Yeah.
And like other themey things that could be happening in a gold rush time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be easy to expand, I think.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to have, like, instead of just investments being cards for points, investments to, like, create, like, a new building that gives you some kind of special ability.
Just for yourself?
Or if somebody else puts money down there.
It's interesting. We're getting off track.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. Like, there could be a trading post or, like...
Oh, a way to take a couple of medals and trade them in for, like...
Or something like
one
that.
other medal?
Or, like, squirreling stuff away for, like...
Yeah.
Using it for a rainy day or something.
Yeah. But
It's
yeah.
interesting, though.
Lots of interesting thematic ways that you could expand this.
Mm-hmm.
All right.